Okay, I'm back. Nicholas back. So, according to my test, there should not be the audio of the fan in the background. Okay, it's hot in Brazil. It's summer over here, so bear with me. Mr. Max stream was very nice. Tear off your skin. Talked about the guys were talking about 4D, like insanity and things like that. Then there was this one point during the stream where the conversation went about what if you're fighting your own hand, like only your hand is possessed or something like that. Then I thought, hey, I know how I'd run that mechanically. So I'd like to talk about extended tests or tasks and how I do them and how I would run that specific scenario in my game, in my world's mechanics. So yeah, let's have a look. Right. So the idea behind the extended task is that you have this one moment where things are so tense or are so complex that time it feels like time dilates itself, right? It's like the defusing the bomb in a movie scene, like things slow down, the music goes tenser, there's sweat beads all over the guy's face. And to understand how I run it mechanically, just a quick reminder on how I do like fights and wounds. So characters have 4 wounds. You get hit 4 times, you're dead. That's it. You get stabbed 4 times, your body got enough damage that it cannot sustain itself. You're dead. When I'm doing extended tasks, it is as if the character is having this face-off, this square-off against the challenge, as if the challenge was an enemy, right? So to start off, I will use the example of mountain climbing. I think it explains it well. A character is climbing a mountain, and because the mountain is very big, I don't want to make it just a single row for this situation. I make it an extended row. So now things get tense because if he falls from that mountain, he's probably gonna die, right? So let's say that the character has a 15 for climbing that mountain. It's a good number. It's a good number to have. That means he is doing well, Basically what's happening in this square off is whoever's side get 4 failures first, they lose. So you as a player, right, as your character, you want to have 4 successes in this extended task so you can pass it. How does that play mechanically? You have your own target number, but the challenge also has a target number. The challenge target number is 20 minus the character's target number. In this situation is, I don't know, it's 15. Would be 5, right? 20 minus 15 is 5. And you have turns. The character goes first. He does his attack, his roll, his skill test. Then the challenge, then back to the character. But here's the thing. Even in this situation, there is a little chance that you might lose because you're rolling to see if you pass, and then if you don't pass, that means you fail. So you get a strike, and now it's time for the challenge. The challenge rolls. If the challenge pass that roll, then it's another strike for you as the character, right? But the nice part about this is that we are role playing the situation, right? So the player starts rolling for his test. Then a 15 is probably gonna win. So the challenge get a strike. Now the player, as a character, his role playing is describing how he finds the right handhold to climb in. Things are going well. But then the player rolls and he fails. That's a strike for him. Now me, as a GM, as a narrator, now I'll step in and describe how that one handhold that he was using, the little piece of rock breaks off, and the little pebble rolls down the mountain, and he almost falls off, oh, got a little tense. And then it goes on as maybe there's a bird, there's this eagle nest in this part of the rock, and now like they're beaking his hand off. All these little situations. So it is almost as if the mountain was trying to fight him. Maybe it is literally, if you're going that fantastical with it, like it's a sentient mountain or something. But even if it's not, like you know, it's like definitely trying to fight him off. That's how I do these extended tasks, you know, like opening a very hard lock, casting a very specific hard spell, and things like that. Now, for the situation described in the stream where, let's say, the character's hand is fighting off because he's getting possessed, I would run it in this very similar way. The character would go first, then the challenge, or in this situation, the demon, is also going to attack. But it doesn't make sense that the demon will have 20 minus 15. The demon has his own target number, right? So let's say it's a 16, it's a strong demon. This is basically a duel. It's just the same thing as if they are having a fight, like a combat, but it's in this situation is to see if they can take control of their hand. And then again, you have this back and forth with the player, the character and the demon. So the players, in this situation, I guess the demon goes first because it's starting the possession. Then I describe how you feel this cold sensation, right? You feel this cold sensation in your hand, and you feel it go numb. Then I roll. The demon gets a score. The hand starts moving on its own, you know, so it's already losing control. Then the player is going to react, you know, I don't know. The player might say, I try to hold it with one hand and I try to feel it back again. It rolls. If it wins, okay, it's a failure for the demon. And this goes on. By the end, we're going to know who got it, you know. And something that can happen, and it's something that feels very cinematic, is this situation. Whereas, you know, whoever, if it's the character rolling now, it's all on him. He needs to pass a test. Because if he doesn't pass, he gets a failure, and that's one for the demon, he won. Or if it's the demon, the same thing. So this, again, this helps simulate that tense moment in movies where everything depends on that one specific action. That's how I run, that's how I do extended tests. I don't do it often, because again, it can grind the game to a halt. So unless you don't want that, you don't want this one moment to really extend itself, you should not use this. But if you have the perfect moment for it, that's how you do it, you know. On my last game, I had something similar happen. There was a possession going on, and I used this with the character, and he won fine. He won just fine. My player managed to beat it. But it was tense. I think it went down to something like this. Yeah, I think they got like 4 losses. When you get 4 failures, you're like, ugh, that's half the battle, you know. So yeah, that's how I would run the possession thing. Not even for just the hand, but like if this one thing's trying to possess a character, I do this. So let's say it's in a combat round, right? Everyone is fighting. And again, I will make in the future the combat video, but not today. Everyone is fighting, right? When it gets to that one player who's being possessed, we go into this, right? So I have to keep track of the character and the little demon or the challenge. As everyone is fighting, they are having their own little fight. So it's this little fight inside of the bigger fight, right? So it doesn't need to disrupt things for other players while this is happening. It's just that for that player, this very tense situation, you know, it's like, what's that analogy? 1 minute break is nothing but 1 minute walking over what, blazes, I think, of hot coal. Feels like an eternity. It's kind of that thing, you know. I try to apply that mentality here. But yeah, this is a short video again. I don't really mind making short or long videos. It's just how much time it takes to express what I want to express. But yeah, this is it. This is how I do it. This is how I do the possession part mechanically. As for narratively, I think just go watch Mr. Mac's stream. It was a perfect good stream about the 4D stuff. That's how you can do it. And I think you can incorporate that really well here, you know, because you have the turns, right? The GM is also a player, so I also have the turn to describe what the demon is doing and so on. as a final note, this works best for one-to-one interaction, so player against challenge. But you could have group against challenge, which did also happen in my game, and I did not have a specific rule written for it, so I just winged it. And what I did is, in the player phase, it was doing rotation. So let's say you have 4 players, then you have the demon, right? The demon goes, then goes first player. Now back to the demon, then the other player. You know, you do this. That's how I did it. It can work, and it's also funny if you have this one character that's really bad at it, because he's going to be the sole responsible, I guess, for the failure. Can create a very interesting situation. It's like what is Ghostbusters, the first movie, when the demon things like they say, oh, like don't think about anything scary because it's gonna take its form. And I don't remember which character. I think it was Dan Aykroyd character. He was like, oh no, I thought of something, and it's like the white thing. I don't remember what it was. Like the better cookie better monster, the Muffin Man. Kind of a situation like kind of like that. But again, yeah, that's it, guys. Thanks.